Hello dear students. So today we are going to understand the unsolved passages of Old Man at the Bridge, because before this lecture we had understood the chapter well. So we should start now. You know very well that is second chapter of short stories, Old Man at the Bridge, written by Ernest Hemingway. So the first passage is, it's very simple. I think you should read it. We have read these all things in the chapter. That was his native town means starting from here. We should move forward here and solve the questions. So the first question is, which was the old man's native town? What was his occupation? So old man's native town was San Carlos, and he was a caretaker of animals. Comment on the old man's appearance. So we know well, he was wearing a pair of steel-rimmed goggles. Goggles means spectacles with dusty cloths, and there was dust on his face also. After all, he was not looking fine. Third question, why did the old man leave his town or hometown? Why did he leave it reluctantly? Reluctantly means unwillingly. You know well, he had to leave his town because of artillery or weaponry, or the war had been broken out. That's why the captain had asked him to leave his hometown, which he had to leave unwillingly, reluctantly. We know well. Next question is, what animals did the old man take care of? Why was he worried about them now? He took care of a cat, 2 goats, and 4 pairs of pigeons. He was worried about them now because there was no one to take care of them. Next, how did the old man express his concern about the safety of his animals? What did he say about the cats? We know well, he was more concerned about the life of his animals than his own life. He was satisfied by the fact that the cats can look after themselves as they are self-dependent. But he was worried for another animals. That made him depressed. So it was very simple paragraph or simple passage. Okay, such type of questions are asked in RTT1, half yearly, annual and all examination. You are to write down these answers in your own language. Now this one is second passage. I am without politics means I don't favor any political party, he says. I'm 76 years old. I have come 12 kilometers now, and I think now I can go no further. Means he have been tired, so he cannot move forward. This is not a good place to stop, I said. So the narrator said, this is not a good place to stop. If you can make it, there are trucks up the road where it forks. Fork means divides for tortoise. So the first question, why cannot the old man walk further? Why does he refuse to do so? We know well, he cannot walk further because he had already walked 12 kilometers, so he refuses to walk further. Second question is, how old the man is with politics? How does his old age affect him? The old man was 76 years old without politics, so he was unable to walk further. Next, why does the narrator tell the old man that it is not a good place to stop? So the narrator or the soldier tells him that it is not a good place to stop because war is going on and enemy may reach here anytime. Why does the narrator ask the old man to leave that place? The narrator asks the old man to leave that place because there was not a safe place to because that was not a safe place to stay. Next, where does the narrator ask the old man to go? Why does the old man follow his instructions? So the narrator asks the old man to go to Barcelona. No, he didn't follow the instructions because there was no one of his own family there. Now, the third passage. This is also very short and easy. He looked at me very blankly, indifferently and tiredly, and then said, having to share his body with someone, that cat will be alright, I am sure. There is no need to be unquiet about the cat, but the others now, what do you think about the others? Why, they'll probably come through it all right. You think so? Why not? I said, watching the far bank where now there were no cars. But what will they do under the artillery when I was told to leave because of the artillery? Did you leave the dog cage unlocked? I asked. Yes, then they'll fly. Yes, certainly they'll fly. What the others? It's better not to think about the others, he said. The narrator said in the last. So the question, what does the old man worry about and why? So the old man was worried about his animals because there was no one to look after them. Next, how does the narrator try to console the old man? Does it affect the old man in a positive way? So answer, the narrator tries to console the old man and it affects the old man in a positive way in the story Old Man at the Bridge. The narrator asks the old man if he left the dove cage opened so that the 4 pairs of pigeons could fly and save their lives. The narrator requests the old man not to worry about the other animals. The old man was very much consoled by the words spoken by the narrator. Next question. Why was the old man asked to leave his hometown? Why was he the last to leave his place? So the answer, the old man was asked to leave his hometown because the artillery which is used in the war was arriving at his hometown San Carlos. He was the last to leave this place because he had sentimental attached to his hometown San Carlos in the story Old Man at the Bridge. Why is the old man not worried about the pigeons? Why is he less worried about the cats? He is not worried about the pigeons because they can fly and cats can look after themselves because they are self-dependent. That's why he was less worried about the cat. Why does the old man express his worry about his 2 gods? The old man expresses his worry about his 2 gods because they were unable to look after themselves like cat. Now the next passage is very short. If you are rested, I would go, I urged. Get up and try to walk now. Thank you, he said and got to his feet. Swayed or persuaded from side to side and then sat down backwards in the dust. I was taking care of animals, he said dully, uninterestingly, but no longer to me. I was only taking care of animals. So here that is discussion between both of them. What did the narrator urge the old man? Did he accept his advice? The narrator urged the old man not to sit on the bridge because it was not a safe place to sit. Yes, he accepted the advice. That's why he got up to his feet, pursued it from side to side, and then sat down backwards in the dust. So next question is, why did the old man thank the narrator? The old man thanked the narrator because he was buried for his safety. Next, why did the old man sit down again in the dust? What light does his action throw on his character? He sat down again in the dust because he was tired and had already walked 12 kilometers. It shows that he had been desperate, hopeless. Why did the old man say, I was only taking care of animals? Explain. The old man had no other family member. He took care of his animals as like his family members. His only occupation was to look after the animals. Why did the old man feel dull and sad? The old man felt dull and sad because he was worried about animals and concerned more about two gods. Now the last passage is, there was nothing to do about him. It was Easter Sunday and the fascists were advancing towards the Ebro. It was a grey overcast day with a low ceiling so the airplanes were not up. That and the fact that cats know how to look after themselves was all the good luck that old man would ever have. So this is the last passage or last paragraph of the chapter 2. Okay, so here the first question, explain the line, there was nothing to do about him. So the line indicates that the narrator was on his duty and had no way to help him out. The old man had no family and not even any acquaintances nearby. Acquaintance means familiar. What was more, he was not able to walk further, as he had already walked 12 kilometers and it was too much for his age. Next is, why could the planes of the fascists not fly? How could it affect the fate of the old man? The planes of fascists could not fly because it was a dull grey overcast day. Therefore, the planes could not fly due to presence of clouds. It would affect the fate of the old man as it was the only good thing for him. Why does the old man say that the cats can look after themselves? Why is more worried about the gods? Why is he more worried? He should be here. He says so because cats are self-dependent. That's why they can look after themselves, but gods cannot do so. So he was worried for them. Why did the old man not leave the place even when he was advised to do so? Why the narrator? The old man did not leave the place even when he was advised to do so by the narrator because the old man was tired of traveling 12 kilometers, which was a long way for an old man Furthermore, he was also grieved by the fact that his animals were no longer with him. Grieved means sorrowed, mourned. What does the narrator think about the old man's fate? Why does he take pity on him? The narrator shows pity on old man because he knows that now nothing can console him to go away from the braes. He tried his best, but the old man thanks the narrator. So at last the narrator went away from the bridge with a sad ending. So these were the 5 unsolved passages which I have explained. Now short answer questions are giving unsolved there in your workbook. That is your assignment you should do. There are 3 questions. First is, how is the story Old Man at the Bridge about war and death? Discuss. So when I had explained this chapter, you have got everything over there, and you should write down in your views according to you whatever you have understood. Second, how does Hemingway deal with the themes of depression, resignation, and impending death in the story Old Man at the Bridge? Try to write down the answer of it as well. In this story, Hemingway uses a lot of metaphors and symbols. Explain them. So in workbook 1, there are some figure of speech have been given over there. You should read them first. After reading the figure of speech in your volume 1 or volume 2 before first chapters, they have been given there.